Brandon McPhee, all the way from Wick in Scotland. Congratulations, you've got your Galway Irish Crystal Award here, and for Music Without Borders, because not alone do you play the accordion, but you sing songs as well. But you're from a fair distance from here. You're from Wick in Scotland. Tell me, how far up is Wick?
Well, if you keep going to the top of Scotland, you'll fall off the edge. And I'm delighted to be bringing this award back to my county of Caithness. Nice. And just so good to be back here at the Hot Company Awards. The atmosphere out there is just electric. Everyone is really welcoming. It's great to see everyone mingling as well. And I think everyone's having a great time. I know I am.
And when you started playing accordion regularly at probably the age of 10, you must be regarded, and you still are, of course, the younger version of Jimmy Shand. But you have one of Jimmy Shand's early accordions, going back to the 50s.
I appreciate that. Jimmy Shand is, I've always looked up to Jimmy Shand, and there can only ever be one Jimmy Shand. But I do have the very first Honer Shand Merino of the assembly line, which is 001 is written inside there, and it was 1951. And it was one of 4 that arrived from Germany, and it was part designed by Sir Jimmy Shand and Venanzio Marino and Honer. And it's such a pleasure and an honour to own such an iconic instrument, and because I'm such a huge Jimmy Shand fan, it makes it that little bit even more special.
Of course, the Bluebell Polka was his big one, and that probably was shortly after that, the 50s anyway.
That's right. He's the only accordionist to ever have an Scottish accordion tune in the pop charts. So I always say, wouldn't it be great to have another one in the pop charts?
Yeah. Well, hopefully you will have one, because you're singing as well. The singing didn't happen until later on, though.
I didn't start singing until I was around 17, and it was on suggestion from Robert Cameron, who plays in my band. He's on the drums, but he's been most of his life with Manson Grant and the Dynamos, still is. And he suggested one day, you should try singing. And that was really where it all started. I took tuition and I've been working on it ever since. And I'm glad I did, because I love the singing just as much as I love the accordion. And part of my shows now, we combine both in there. So there's something for everyone. There's some country, there's Scottish, there's folk. And I love it.
And of course, you're a young fellow, you're still in your 20s, doing country and doing folk and Scottish tunes, as we say. But you're also making good inroads here in the Irish scene.
It's always great to come over to Ireland. It's like a second home. Yeah. And we're always trying to branch into new areas and get the music out there. We're very, very fortunate to have a lot of radio stations in Ireland that will play our music, and we're very much indebted to the presenters, and we have a lot of newspapers that do articles when we're at some of our concerts afterwards. Yeah. And we're welcomed over here, and it means the world.
Right. And the travelling, it's just incredible that you would leave Wick and you go down to Cork, let's say, but even to get from Wick to the Irish coast in Northern Ireland, that takes hours.
Well, you can be very sore with physical exercise, but you can be very sore sitting as well. And that is the case for that journey. But it's worth it. You know, if you don't like travelling, you're in the wrong job, I think. Yeah. And I love travelling. I love meeting new people. Love travelling places. So it's a very lucky to have that part of my job.
So you're in a job that you always wanted. Did you ever work at any other profession at all?
Well, funny enough, during COVID years, when music stopped altogether, I worked for a funeral director locally. Right. So I did that, and it was a very satisfying at the end of everything when a family was happy. So that was the only other time I've done anything.
Right. Well, in the future, I'm sure you're recording as well.
We're always looking for that one song that's going to register with the wider public, but we're always recording. Pan Records, the most northerly recording studio in the United Kingdom. And I've been fortunate to be recording with them since I was 11 years old. So there's a lot of CDs out there, and we're always recording, which is fantastic.
Right, and finally, your heroes when you were growing up as a young fellow in Scotland were Foster and Allen and of course Daniel O'Donnell, and you've got to record with both of them. But one of the videos was just sensational, like someone of you was coming through the clouds in a supernatural way, and that was done in Donegal.
The video was done with Daniel with React Productions, and I just love the whole idea. We travelled to Dunlow And the whole idea was that I was busking on the street in hope I would be able to see my hero Daniel O'Donnell, and then he appeared from the clouds in a dream. So it was such a great experience to record with both Foster and Alan and Daniel, and I'm just honoured, I really am.
Well, may we hope that you have similar success to them. Brandon McPhee, thank you for talking to us here at the Hot Country Awards. And congrats.
Thank you so much, and all the very best. Thanks for your time.